The Terracotta Army guards the tomb of Qin Shi Huang, the first emperor of China. This 2,000-year-old ancient burial site is located in Xi'an. Tourists from around the globe flock here every year, but for those unable to travel 7,000 miles, you're about to get the chance of a lifetime. The Cincinnati Art Museum collaborated with the Virginia Museum of Fine Arts to bring a new Terracotta Army exhibit to the United States. The process was years in the making and involved partnering with 14 Chinese museums.
The story of the Terracotta Army and the first emperor of China is a unique story in human history. Today we have a chance to bring the highlights of the first emperor's legacy and elements of the Terracotta Army to Cincinnati, Ohio, 23 centuries later.
In January, staff from Cincinnati and Virginia traveled to China to visit the sites and museums working to preserve this history. The trip began in the ancient capital city of Xi'an. It's the birthplace of Chinese civilization. Today, it is a modern metropolis with more than 8.5 million people. It's home to some of China's most treasured sites, including Emperor Qin's mausoleum.
We only know a bit about the mausoleum for the first emperor, but what we know is absolutely spectacular. It is the Terracotta Army. And that Terracotta Army, to send and to guard the emperor into the afterlife, is one of the great archaeological discoveries of the 20th century.
The first emperor came into power at the age of 13 as king of the Qin state. By 38, he defeated the warring states and created China's first empire, naming himself emperor. The first emperor was a force never before seen in China, and he set the stage for the next 2 centuries. He built national roadways, created a metric system, established a national currency, and constructed the Great Wall of China.
Here at the Great Wall of China, the production of multiple empires of China is in evidence. Most notably, the Qin dynasty. It's a blend of a natural and beautiful environment with the built splendor and the engineering that's involved in the wall.
But aside from his greatness, Emperor Qin was also a tyrant. He was notorious for executing those who disagreed with him. He ordered more than 700,000 people to construct his burial site over the span of 3 decades.
You can clearly see his ambition and how he wants to almost reproduce how he accomplished the unification of China. So he wanted in the underworld to reflect this.
In 1974, when farmers were digging a well in a rural area of Xi'an, they had no idea what they were about to uncover.
You know, there's no more fascinating story. A farmer digging a well in 1974 unearths this terracotta work that he had no idea. In fact, when he brought it down to the Archaeological Bureau in Xi'an, they had no idea. They'd never seen anything like it. It created a whole new chapter in the world of archaeology.
Experts estimate there are roughly 8,000 terracotta soldiers. They were found in 3 pits buried under the earth with mud, bricks, and wooden beams. Today, excavations continue in Xi'an.
The preservation, I think even the Chinese learned quite a lot as they work on those materials. I think it excited everyone that we are learning how to restore the colors, how to conserve the bronze, like the bronze water birds.
So this group object was made specially for the emperor, right, just for burial.
Just for burial.
Yeah.
Okay. For me, the birds are one of those areas where archaeology and art, where there's a very blurry line because they're archaeological material, but each one is such an individualistic work of art. They're so beautiful.
Despite his eminence, the first emperor had a weakness that some believe led to his death. He spent his entire life seeking immortality, and some believe he ingested mercury as a means for longevity. He died unexpectedly at the age of 49 in 210 BC. His tomb rests at the bottom of Mount Li and remains untouched to this day. The entire mausoleum encompasses about 20 miles. Only about 10% has been excavated since its discovery.
So imagine a page of paper, and you were to draw a little box the size of a stamp. That's pit number 1, where there are 8,000 larger than life-size sculptures. That's all they've excavated with a few more stamps. The rest of the page is still blank.
While archaeologists continue to unravel the mysteries surrounding the first emperor's necropolis, his reign undoubtedly left a lasting impression for future empires. Seeing the size and the scale of these warriors up close is an unforgettable experience, and it's one Chinese museums want to share with the world.
近年来，我们组织了很多的一些与周秦汉唐有关的文物，我们走进世界各大博物馆。我们希望通过这个展览，让更多的国外，特别是美国的这种观众，能够对中国的周秦汉唐的这一种文化的这种认知，就是对中国文化产生兴趣。
The exhibit in Cincinnati will show 120 artifacts, including 10 terracotta figures and pieces never before shown outside of China. It's the first time the Terracotta Army will be shown in the Queen City. These experts say you'll never forget the first time you see the soldiers in person.
Since its discovery, I've been reading about it, studying about it, and even teaching about it in my classes. But first time I see it, it's so different, the massive scale of it.
It literally took my breath away. The sheer energy around the Terracotta Army it's indescribable until you're actually in their presence.